Interviews are only hard if you don't know what the company is actually looking for. I'm Aya, and I'm a digital marketing manager. Usually, I'm the one who looks at your CV and decides if you're gonna get the job. So hear me out and listen to what actually a marketing specialist role should be and what skills you should have. Usually in a lot of companies, they mix up the word marketing executive with a marketing specialist. They're very similar role, but they have a common distinction is that a marketing executive is usually more of a broader role and it's a more of a like UK and Commonwealth kind of thing. But the more specific role is basically the marketing specialist. So here are a couple of things that we look for when we're hiring for a marketing specialist. First thing is you need to have a broad knowledge of paid media. And by paid media, I mean first Google Ads. So do you know how to set up a campaign? Do you know what's the difference between a search campaign, a display campaign, a shopping campaign? So you need to know how to set up a campaign, what is the difference between all of them, the difference in bidding, so conversion, maximize conversion value, maximize conversions, a target CPA, target ROAS. You need to know all of this jargon basically, and you need to know what's the difference between all of them and how to set them up. I think the first thing I would totally advise you to do is to go through the Google Academy lessons and do the certifications. That will really help if you don't know anything about Google. If not, I think you should check some jobs on Upwork or Fiverr and try to get a little bit of projects to basically practice on them. The second thing is Meta. Meta, I think, is a bit easier to manage than Google because they try at least to make it very intuitive, but basically it's the same thing. You need to know how to set campaigns, but the thing is they don't work the same way as they work on Google, so you need to know the difference, what kind of campaigns would work best. You need to know how to do A/B testing. You need to know basically the different ratios because it's not the same thing on Google Image Asset. You need to know what kind of images you can use, on which places they're going to be broadcasted, and what to optimize for. And I think everyone has a bit of this skill. It's social media. Even if you don't like it, you need to have a basic social media knowledge, meaning how to edit videos, like very short videos, reels. You have to know how to edit them, how to spot trending audios, how to replicate trends. And the bonus is if you're creative enough, you need to know how to create those trends. The other thing, and I think this is like a 3.5, not like a totally separate skill, like it's a bit close to social media, it's community management. So basically, if you are good on socials, you need to also know how to build that community. So either encourage those people to basically engage with you or to subscribe to a newsletter. And most importantly is to know how to keep those people engaged and make them look forward to the next time you share something. The next one is a bit tied to this. So if you're sending them to sign up to an email newsletter, do you know how to set up an email newsletter? Do you know how to separate audiences to make custom emails? I know this is a lot, but these are kind of basic skills for every marketer. So one of the two platforms that we use for this is either Klaviyo or MailChimp. I prefer MailChimp, but you need to learn how both of them are used, even on like a general level. You can get more into specific when you're in the role and you need to basically do something, just watch a YouTube video and do it. But when someone asks you in the interview, how do you do this? You need to know how to do it. So even if you don't really have currently a brand that you're working with, MailChimp is free to use up to a certain number of subscribers. So just go in there, try things out, and see how it goes. The last thing, and I think this one is hard. It's the SEO. You need to know how to optimize for search engines. And this is very different from one company to another, but the main rules are the same. You need to know how to do on-page optimization, off-page optimization, and basically to do the technical optimization. Technical optimization, you need to just know high-level stuff because the technical stuff usually is the development team that does it. But you need to know how to talk to publishers, get those backlinks, negotiate, create those articles for those publishers. So a bit of a copywriter as well. But in terms of on-page optimization, you need to know how pages work, what Google looks for, and how you can improve that. And a lot of this goes line in line with competitor research. So you need to know how the competitors are doing, and try to be better than them. And this is very much tied into SEO, but I feel like a lot of marketing specialists that we hire for have no idea about this. Is basically the local SEO. You have a map and you have, for example, a store there. How can you rank for that keyword? Here, some of the tools are similar to use. So for SEO, we usually use Semrush, Ahrefs, Moz, Majestic. You need to know how to use all of these tools on a high level again. When you're working with a company, you will get to know specifically how to use these. For local maps, I usually prefer Local Falcon. It's quite good, and they have usually more credits for you to search more things and to just test if you want to rank for a certain keyword. It's not as expensive as Semrush, personally. So give that a go. Try to play with it. Whew. Yeah, that was quite a lot. But if you want to make the difference and basically want to be the person that they say, oh, we can't miss this guy or this girl, is that make sure to do stuff that not everyone does, like Reddit ads, Pinterest ads, or Bing, which is Microsoft ads. Try to get those certificates as well. Try to play with those. Try to understand how campaigns work in those platforms. How can you make the best out of it? And for which companies are those? Make sure you know how to utilize your assets to their best. And one last thing, and I think it's also a bonus, is if you know how to use programmatic ads. Not a lot of companies use programmatic, but I think it will be a big asset and it will make a difference that you know it and that other people don't, is programmatic. Programmatic is usually when you go on a website, you see like ads on the side and you feel like, oh, I was just talking about this and it's there now. So those are the ads I'm talking about. Usually I use a company called AdRoll. It's the tool that helps me do the programmatic ads, to create campaigns on them, to create the creatives. Also, creatives, don't forget that. You need to know how to create creatives. You don't need to create them very well. Canva works. But obviously, if you're working in a big agency, you'll have a graphic designer who does that. But you need to also give them a bit of a draft of what you want the ad to look like. So, I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you rock your interview. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll answer them in the next videos. And which job are you applying for?